Hello friends, welcome to today's discussion. Today's questions were based on ancient history and some current affairs as well. We will discuss the questions one by one. We will also discuss some elimination techniques for some questions as well. First question, which of the following ports mentioned below was the center of Gupta's trade to the Southeast Asian nations? Bharuch, Muziris, Cambay, Tamralipti. Out of the four options, only one port is situated in the eastern coast of India. So eastern coast of India, the ports which are situated in the eastern coast of India will be naturally more suitable for the trade to Southeast Asian nations. So obviously the answer will be on answer D, Tamralipti port. Tamralipti port is located in West Bengal, whereas other ports are located in the western coast of India. So they will not be ideally suitable for trade with Southeast Asian nations. So first question, option D is the answer. Second question, which of the following play describes the ascent of the king Chandragupta Maurya to power in the Magadha Empire? Vrichagadika, Devi Chandragupta, Mudra Rakshasa, Ritu Samhara. It is a direct question, it's an easy question as well. Mudra Rakshasa depicts the ascent of Chandragupta Maurya with the help of Chanakya to the power in Magadha Empire. It is the start of Mauryan dynasty as well. It is a very important book. You have to be aware about it. The author of Mudra Rakshasa is Vishagadatta. He lived during the Gupta period. Second question, option C is the answer. Third question, with reference to ancient India, the term nilopitu refers to archives of historic events during Harsha Empire rule, guilds organized during post-Mauryan age, gold coins issued by Gupta Empire, annexation of territory through means of war. The term nilopitu refers to the archives that were maintained during the Harsha's period. These archives were specially maintained by responsible officers. These contained both the good events and bad events during that period. It even contained the archives which indicated the arrival and contributions made by Huansang as well. It contained all the important news that has happened that period. It was later moved into archives. Among the options, option C can be eliminated actually. Gold coins issued by Gupta Empire, it is directly mentioned in the Tamil Nadu SCRT books and all. So that term is not in sync with nilopitu. And also the term nilopitu is referred in Tamil Nadu SCRT directly. So do go through these words. Such terms are very important for ancient India and medieval India as well. Third question, option A. Fourth question, consider the following statements. Gada Saptasadi was a collection of biographies of Shadavahana rulers written in Prakriti language. Kottapatnam was a famous port used by Shadavahana rulers. Shadavahana rulers were ruling over the parts of Andhra Pradesh. They had access to port. They had access and they even had trade with Southeast Asian nations as well. They were very famous for their matrilineal identity. Sadavahana rulers, among one of them, the king Hala was a major king during that period. Gada Saptasadi was written by Hala in Prakriti language. That is correct, but it does not contain any biography of Sadavahana rulers. Rather, it contains religious rituals and it contained more of religious text and worship rituals. So the first option is incorrect. Second option is correct. Kottapatnam was the famous port that was used by Shadavahana rulers. They even had access to the western coast as well. So there are some ports in the western coast were also under Shadavahana rulers. Fourth question, option B. Fifth question, with reference to Megasthenes, consider the following statements. Discipline and good order of the Indians were praised by Megasthenes in his book Indica. Megasthenes was the ambassador to the court of King Chandragupta Maurya and Bindusara. Which of the above statements is or are correct? Two statements are given regarding Megasthenes. Megasthenes has described about the society during Mauryan Empire in his book Indica. He lived in India during the period of Chandragupta Maurya. He was sent as an ambassador to the Mauryan dynasty by the king Seleucus. So Megasthenes was actually the ambassador to the court of King Chandragupta Maurya only. The son of Chandragupta Maurya is Bindusara. During the rule of Bindusara, another ambassador was sent to his kingdom. His name was Dimachus. So second statement is incorrect. First statement is correct. A major observation made by Megasthenes in his book Indica was that Indians were having high moral values And also he mentioned that there is no slavery present in India during that period, although that was proven incorrect by other researchers. His book says that there was no slavery during that period. So fifth question, first statement is correct, second statement is incorrect. So 5, option A is the answer. Sixth question, which of the following most accurately describes the duty of Dhamma Mahamatas? Propagate the teachings of Buddha, to propagate the moral values laid down by Ashoka, to convert people under Ashoka's political control into Buddhism, chief Buddhist monks who work under Ashoka. Concept of Dhamma is more of a code of conduct. It has been inspired from the teachings of Buddha, but it is not directly related to any religion. It is more civil code of conduct or a moral code of conduct. So it contains many more teachings apart from the teachings of Buddhism as well. So the primary aim of Dhamma Mahamatas, who are the officials sent by Ashokas, are actually to propagate the moral values that are laid down by Ashoka in his Dhamma. So option B is the best suited one. Option A, C, and D is indicating the ideas towards Buddhism. So that is not the proper answer. Option B, to propagate the moral values laid down by Ashoka, is the better suited one. Seventh question, with reference to the Gupta Empire, consider the following statements. Allahabad pillar inscriptions indicate that the Samudra Gupta brought kings of South Indian dynasty into permanent subjection under Gupta rule. Mandasor inscriptions during Gupta period indicate the details of silk weavers guild and its functioning. Which of the above statements is or are correct? So these are two statements that are not directly found in any textbooks. So what you can do is connect the links and connect the basic ideas which you have studied about Gupta Empire during that period. First statement says about Allahabad pillar inscriptions. We know that Allahabad pillar inscriptions describe a lot of achievements related to Samudra Gupta. So that statement should be correct. But the second part of the statement, it says that he brought kings of South Indian dynasty into permanent subjection under Gupta rule. That is not possible. It is directly mentioned in NCERT as well. Related with respect to the kings that were ruling in South India, Gupta kings had a more lenient policy. They were not subjected to violent extermination, or they were not subjected to permanent subjection. Instead, they were captured and later released as well. So statement 1 is not correct. Statement 2 is correct. Mandasor inscriptions during Gupta period indicate the details of silk weavers guild and its functioning. There is a factual thing saying that Mandasor inscriptions are inscribed during Gupta period. That we should be knowing by fact. If we know that by fact, we can say that the overall statement shall be correct, because it is saying Mandasor inscriptions during Gupta period indicates the details of silk weavers guild and its functioning. It is a possibility that Mandasor inscription can have many details about silk weavers guild, because guilds were active during this period. So there is a possibility. Only thing we need to identify or we need to know is whether Mandasor inscriptions belong to Gupta period. So statement 2 can be more correct. So statement 2 is correct, and statement 1, it is incorrect because of difference in Gupta's policy towards South Indian rulers. Seventh question, option B. Eighth question, which of the following statements about guild shrenis in Mauryan age is not correct? People following the same occupation and craft residing at one place cooperated with each other and formed a guild. The guilds also acted as the bank and used to keep deposited money for charity and other functionaries. They also functioned as a judicial body in settling the disputes of their members. They propagated Dhamma among the masses. There are 4 statements in the question. It seems like a big question, but you can easily identify some incorrect statements among this, okay, or some correct statements among this. Statement 1 shall be more oriented towards the correct nature, because it says people following the same occupation and craft residing at one place cooperated with each other and formed guild. So we know that guild is an association of merchants and traders. So the first statement is suiting the all the above characteristics. So 1 is correct. And also the statement option 1, statement 1 is not mentioned among the options as well. So you can directly skip on to the second one. Second one is saying that the guilds also acted as a bank. Okay, so guilds will be having a lot of trade, so they will be having a lot of money, so they can act as bank as well. So second statement can be correct. Okay, So option A can be eliminated first of all. Out of the three options B, C and D, we can move to the third statement. They also functioned as a judicial body in settling the disputes of their members. It is saying disputes of their members. So since it is an association of traders, there is a possibility of dispute among the traders. There is a possibility. We cannot rule out that possibility. So they need to maintain, they need to ensure that the business will be undertaken very quickly. So there is a possibility that they will be acting as judicial members. 3 can also be correct. So two statements can be eliminated. Option A and option D can be eliminated. Option B and option C are the remaining ones. Out of that, we have to know whether option 4 is correct or not. Actually, guilds do not have such functions. They are merely acting as a corporation or association of merchants. So they do not have any responsibility such as propagating Dhamma among masses. So 4 is incorrect. Option B is the answer. 9th question, consider the following statements. Leprosy is a viral disease that can cause damages to the internal organs of humans. The incubation period of the disease is very slow and it may take up to few years in some cases. It is a difficult question. Leprosy is a bacterial disease and its incubation period can go up to an average of 5 years. So the second statement, although it seems exaggerated, it is correct. So second statement is correct, and leprosy is a viral disease. That is not a viral disease, that is a bacterial disease. So option B is the answer. 10th question, with reference to the International Whaling Commission, consider the following statements. It is a global body charged with conservation of whales and the management of whaling. India is a founder member of the organization. Which of the above statements is or are correct? International Whaling Commission is in news because Japan recently pulled out of the International Whaling Commission. India did not join as a founding member. India joined the International Whaling Commission in 1981, whereas the organization was formed in 1946. So the second statement is incorrect, and the first statement, it is a global body charged with the conservation of whales and the management of whaling. That will be correct. So that will be the basic aim of International Whaling Commission. So option A is the answer. So if you have any doubts, please comment on the YouTube channel. Also for history, be thorough with the new NCERTs. Ask more questions, and most of the questions will be based on the new NCERT. Please go through it well. Thank you.